Hi, I'm Sandy, and you can already tell I am completely unaccustomed to doing this. Um, I have joined a lot of you with doing the I Am Here for This challenge with Kathy Heller, and I am having a really amazing time doing this. I'm, getting confronted with lots of different emotions that are rising up inside of me as we're going through this. Many of those feelings are very uncomfortable for me, but I am here for this, and I am stretching myself and trying to grow as a person and grow into who I am and do what I am meant to be doing. I'll try and keep this very brief. The reason I'm posting this today, based on our homework, is because I was invisible for a long time. I am a survivor of an abusive relationship. Things got so bad in that situation that I was left with no other option but to flee with my three children. The risks to our safety were that severe that we were no longer safe to stay in our home or live in our local community. The only way I was going to be able to change my life was to leave my life behind and start a completely new life with a new identity. Now, what I think I am here to do is to help other women in particular who also feel trapped or are actually trapped in an abusive relationship. I think that this time of isolation, what I am seeing reports of on a daily basis is the escalation of family violence or domestic violence, whatever you want to call it, because of the pressures that COVID-19 is bringing upon families. And there's no justification for violence or abuse, but having said that, that's just because it's not right is not going to make it stop. And there are women who are trapped and feeling not only isolated but afraid. And they don't know what to do, they don't know where to turn. And I've lived through that. And thankfully, when I did something radical, I did change the trajectory of my life. I changed the course of my life. I had to fight very hard to regain my freedom, and also, secure the safety of my children. And that fight was worth fighting for me. But I know I'm not alone. I know that there are many other women in a similar situation. And if there's anything that I can do to use my experience to help encourage, support, and inspire others to face life where life is for them right now and see what they can do, because women are strong and we can find the answers. We can also find the support and we can make those connections. We don't have to stay in isolation. We don't have to be alone. There are people out there who are trained to help us when we are in these situations. And okay, that's me, that's my background, and this is my first time putting myself out there on a video. I just thought this was an amazing opportunity to connect with a lot of women, and I might not have that opportunity had I not stumbled upon Kathy's invitation to join this challenge. What prompted me to, respond and act is because I'm in this space at the moment of I can't sit and be complacent. I've got a book waiting to be published about my experience. But I can't wait for a publisher to, accept my manuscript and say, yeah, we'll publish you. I don't have that luxury of time. I know that the rates of violence are escalating and the needs are greater than they have ever been before. And these are uncertain times that we live in. We're living in an ever-changing world, and if we can take this opportunity where we've got a quiet space to reflect and think about what we might be able to do to make the world a better place, then I think that, taking this opportunity now, this is my motivation. I feel like a complete and absolute fool speaking to my camera, and I've got no idea who's going to play this, and I've got no idea, what you're going to think of me. If you're going to think I'm stark raving mad, I've got no idea. I'm just putting myself out there. There are 3 questions that Kathy encouraged us to think about and ask people, and I think what I want to do is I do want to curate a community. I want to find out what resources and skills my community need most. I want to provide a response through creating a blog. I have started a blog and it's in its absolute infancy. The 3 questions I'd like to ask anybody out there who's listening, who this resonates with, and you feel as though there's something that a need that I might be able to work towards helping you with. I guess the 3 questions I have is, what would be most helpful to you right now? That's the number one thing. I know how important it is to identify critical needs. And when you can identify those critical needs, then you can start asking for the support that you need. I want you to think about what support you feel you need right now. That's the second question. And the third question, I think, is what would help you feel strong enough to take a step to help you feel safe. So I'll just give you one very quick example for me of when I was stuck, in that situation and I had no way out. I had, my abusive partner breathing down my neck 24 hours a day. And this might sound ridiculous, but I had to find something in the mundane. And for me, I was chained to my kitchen sink. I had 3 very young children running around me, and so that was one place where I could turn that into an active meditation. And so as I had, I was just overloaded with, stress, and I needed to find a way to process that. And that in that stillness, as I was washing the dishes, I turned that into a meditation. And for me, it doesn't sound like much, but I needed to start working with what I had and what was in my day and how I could make peace with something in my day and find peace in something in my day, because my days were fraught with stress. So that's, I think, I'm asking, what needs are there out there? If you can communicate some of them with me, I promise, this is just a conversation at this stage. This is just so that I can start seeing where I can work and what work I can do which will best serve people. If you have listened to this, I am very, very grateful to you for taking the time to watch my video and hear my quavering voice as I'm filled with emotion. And for all of you that are doing Cathy Heller's challenge at the moment, I really hope and encourage you all to follow your dreams and push past your fears and let yourself shine. Thanks. I'm Sandy.